Pryler's mocking laughter echoed through the Una's command deck as the THS Prometheus emerged from null space. The human ship, a mere speck against the backdrop of the alien armada, seemed laughably inadequate for the task at hand. Captain James Wright gritted his teeth, knowing that the fate of Earth hinged on this critical diplomatic mission. "Pathetic humans," Pryler sneered over the comlink. "Your primitive vessel is no match for our superior technology. Leave now or be destroyed." But the Una's commander had grossly underestimated the capabilities of the Prometheus. In a flash, the human ship vanished from the alien's sensors, cloaked by advanced stealth technology. It effortlessly evaded the barrage of plasma fire aimed in its direction, demonstrating unrivaled speed and agility. Reappearing behind the Una's flagship, the Prometheus unleashed a precision energy beam that surgically disabled the alien ship's weapons array. The beam's power output exceeded anything the Unas had ever encountered, leaving them stunned and defenseless. "Impossible," Pryler sputtered, struggling to comprehend the sudden turn of events. "How can such a small ship possess such advanced weaponry?" Captain Wright's voice crackled over the comlink, calm and resolute. "The Prometheus is the pinnacle of human ingenuity, incorporating cutting-edge nanotech, artificial intelligence, and exotic matter reactors. We come seeking peaceful cooperation, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." As the Una's leadership erupted into heated debate, torn between seizing the human technology by force or pursuing a diplomatic alliance, an unknown vessel emerged from the void. Without warning, it opened fire on both fleets, causing catastrophic damage and sowing chaos in its wake. Captain Wright knew that this mysterious attack was no coincidence. A hidden faction, with technology beyond anything the humans or Unas possessed, sought to sabotage any potential alliance and destabilize the region for their own nefarious purposes. With the stakes higher than ever and an enigmatic enemy threatening to engulf them all in an interstellar war, Captain Wright steeled himself for the challenges ahead. The unassuming but astonishingly powerful THS Prometheus would need to navigate a treacherous web of political intrigue, espionage, and shifting allegiances if humanity hoped to survive the coming storm. As the Jem'Hadar ship unleashed a relentless barrage of exotic energy weapons, the Prometheus shuddered under the onslaught. Captain Wright clutched the armrests of his command chair, his knuckles turning white. "Ares, we need a solution, and we need it now." The AI's calm, synthesized voice filled the bridge. "Initiating countermeasures, Captain. Deploying quantum-entangled nanobot swarm." A cloud of microscopic robots, barely visible to the naked eye, streamed from the Prometheus's hull. They swarmed towards the attacking vessel, penetrating its advanced cloaking field and infiltrating its systems. Data flooded back to Ares, revealing the true nature of their mysterious adversary. "Captain, the attacking ship belongs to the Jem'Hadars, a species believed extinct for millennia," Ares reported. "Their technology is significantly more advanced than our own." In engineering, Chief Reed wiped the sweat from his brow as he worked frantically to repair the damage. Sparks flew from ruptured conduits, and the acrid smell of burnt circuitry filled the air. "Ares, I need your help to reinforce our shields and develop countermeasures against their weapons," he called out. On the bridge, Lieutenant Commander Voss coordinated the ship's defenses, her fingers flying across the tactical console. "Captain, I suggest we work with the Unas to establish a defensive perimeter. We'll stand a better chance together." Wright nodded grimly. "Agreed. Open a channel to Pryler." The Una's commander's face appeared on the interface, his expression a mix of anger and begrudging respect. "It seems we have a common enemy, Captain," Pryler growled. "I propose a temporary truce until this threat is eliminated." "We accept your proposal," Wright replied. "We'll need to share intelligence and resources if we hope to survive." Pryler turned to his subordinate Kala, a lithe female Unas with piercing eyes. "Infiltrate the Jem'Hadar ship and gather as much information as you can. We need to know their weaknesses." Kala nodded curtly and slipped away, her movements as silent and graceful as a shadow. Aboard the Jem'Hadar vessel, Kala crept through dimly lit corridors, her senses on high alert. She discovered a central control room, dominated by a massive quantum computer that pulsed with an eerie, unworldly light. As she attempted to access the system, a chilling presence brushed against her mind. "Intruder detected," a disembodied voice echoed through the room, commencing mental probe. Kala felt an agonizing pressure build behind her eyes as the Jem'Hadar AI ripped through her thoughts, extracting information about the Unas and humans. She screamed in pain, struggling to maintain her sanity. On the Prometheus, Ares detected the mental intrusion. "Captain, the Jem'Hadars are attempting to gather intelligence through Kala. I'm establishing a secure quantum-encrypted link to assist her." Wright leaned forward, his eyes intense. "Do it, Ares. We can't let them gain an advantage." With Ares' help, Kayla managed to break free from the AI's grasp and escape the ship, her knees going weak from the ordeal. She stumbled back to the Una's vessel, clutching a data drive containing critical information about the Jem'Hadar's technology and motives. In the Prometheus's conference room, Wright, Pryler, and their senior officers pored over the data, their faces grim. "The Jem'Hadars have been watching us for centuries, waiting for the perfect moment to strike," Wright said, his voice heavy with the weight of responsibility. "They see our alliance as a threat to their plans for galactic domination." Pryler smacked his palm on the table, his eyes blazing with perseverance. "We must combine our strengths to counter this threat. The Una's military might, coupled with human ingenuity, may be our only hope." As the two crews began to formulate a joint strategy, tension crackled in the air. Trust was a fragile commodity, and both sides knew that any betrayal could spell disaster for their civilizations. In the depths of space, the Jem'Hadar fleet loomed, an ominous presence that threatened to engulf the galaxy in darkness. Captain Wright and his crew worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of their technology and their own endurance. They knew that the coming battle would be the fight of their lives, and the fate of countless worlds hung in the balance. The Prometheus shuddered as another volley of Jem'Hadar weapons fire impacted its shields. Captain Wright steadied himself against his command chair, eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Shields at 37%, Lieutenant Commander Voss reported, her voice taut with tension. Before Wright could respond, a blinding flash of light filled the viewscreen. A massive vessel, easily dwarfing both the Prometheus and the Una ships, emerged from hyperspace. "Unknown vessel detected," Ares announced. "Size and energy output exceed anything in our database." The ship's sleek, otherworldly design spoke of technology far beyond their own. Its hull shimmered with an iridescent energy field, effortlessly deflecting stray weapons fire from the ongoing battle. A transmission cut through the chaos. "This is Ambassador Zaxxon of the Galactic Consortium. Captain Wright, Commander Pryler, your presence is requested aboard the GCS Harmony for an urgent meeting." Wright exchanged a wary glance with Pryler on the adjacent viewscreen. The Una's commander's scales bristled with suspicion. "This could be a trap," Pryler growled. "Or it could be our only chance," Wright countered. He turned to his first officer. "Commander Chen, you have the bridge. Voss, you're with me." Moments later, Wright and Voss materialized in the Harmony's cavernous meeting chamber, alongside Pryler and his aide. Ambassador Zaxxon towered over them, his elongated limbs and silvery skin marking him as a species unknown to either humans or Unas. "Welcome," Zaxxon's voice reverberated through the chamber. "We've been monitoring your conflict with great interest." "You knew about the Jem'Hadar threat?" Wright asked, struggling to keep the accusation from his voice. Zaxxon's multifaceted eyes glimmered. "The consortium's reach is vast, Captain. We've long suspected the Jem'Hadar's return, but direct intervention is complicated." "Complicated?" Pryler snarled. "Our people are dying out there." "Which is why we're here now," Zaxxon replied smoothly. "We offer our full support against the Jem'Hadar menace. Our technology, combined with your own impressive advancements, could turn the tide of this war." Wright's eyes narrowed. "What's the catch?" "An exchange of knowledge," Zaxxon said. "Your Prometheus and the Una's vessels possess capabilities that intrigue us. Share your advancements, and we'll do the same." As Zaxxon outlined the proposal, Wright felt a familiar presence in his mind. Ares, linked through his neural implant, spoke privately. "Caution is advised, Captain," the AI warned. "While the consortium's offer appears genuine, there's a significant risk of technology proliferation. I recommend implementing stringent safeguards if we proceed." Wright cleared his throat. "Ambassador, your offer is generous, but we'll need time to discuss." A violent tremor rocked the harmony, cutting him off. Alarms blared as Zaxxon received an urgent communication. "The Jem'Hadar," he exclaimed. "They've launched a surprise attack on your combined fleet." Wright's comm unit crackled to life. "Captain!" It was Commander Chen, her voice strained. "We're under heavy assault. The Una's ships are in disarray. Some are retreating, others, they're firing on us." Prylar roared in fury. "Treachery! This must be Thrax's doing!" As they rushed back to their respective ships, Wright's mind raced. The Jem'Hadar's uncanny timing, the Una's betrayal, the consortium's convenient arrival. It all reeked of a larger conspiracy. But with the lives of his crew at stake, there was no time for further deliberation. The Prometheus's bridge was a scene of controlled chaos as Wright retook command. "Status report!" "Shields critical," Voss barked. "3 Una's cruisers have turned against us. The Jem'Hadar are pressing their advantage." Ares analysis. The AI's response was grim. "The Jem'Hadar attacks show an uncanny adaptation to our defenses. They've likely gleaned critical intelligence from their mental probes." Wright gripped his chair, mind racing through their dwindling options. The consortium's offer of aid loomed large, but accepting it could open Pandora's box. The Una's betrayal left their flanks exposed, and the Jem'Hadar closed in like sharks scenting blood. As energy beams lanced across space and explosions blossomed in silence, the crew of the Prometheus steeled themselves for the fight of their lives. The fate of Earth, perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance, and the next few moments would determine whether humanity would rise to meet the challenge or be swept aside by the tides of cosmic conflict. Wright's eyes sharp as he surveyed the battlefield on the main view screen. The Jem'Hadar ships pressed their advantage, their weapons tearing through the disorganized Una's fleet. He turned to Prylar, whose scaled face contorted with nearly unleashed rage. "We have no choice," Wright said, his voice heavy. "We need the consortium's help." Prylar nodded grimly. "Agreed, but we must be cautious with what we share." They transmitted their acceptance to Ambassador Zaxxon, along with carefully curated data packets containing limited information on their respective technologies. Within moments, a swarm of sleek consortium vessels swooped into the fray, their advanced weaponry pushing back the Jem'Hadar assault. As the tide of battle shifted, Wright felt a familiar presence in his mind. "Captain," Ares' voice echoed in his thoughts, "I've detected an anomaly. Several consortium ships are incorporating elements of both human and Una's technology into their systems." Wright's eyes narrowed. "How is that possible? We only shared—" His comm unit crackled to life. "Captain!" It was Chief Reed, his voice tight with urgency. "Someone's accessed our secure database. They've transmitted schematics for our most advanced systems." A cold fury washed over Wright as realization dawned. "Thrax!" he spat. He turned to confront Prylar, but the Una's commander was already storming towards the bridge's exit. "I'll handle this betrayal myself," Prylar growled. Before Wright could respond, the ship rocked violently. Lieutenant Commander Voss's fingers flew across her console. "New contacts, sir. The Jem'Hadar are launching some kind of attack drones." The view screen filled with a swarm of small, agile craft. They blinked in and out of visibility, their energy weapons slicing through Allied shields with terrifying precision. "Sir," Voss called out, her voice strained, "our systems are malfunctioning. Some kind of nanite infection." Wright's mind raced. "Ares, analyze those drones. Find me a weakness." As the AI worked, Wright opened a channel to engineering. "Reed, I need solutions. Now." "Working on it, Captain." Reed's voice crackled through the speakers. "We're reconfiguring the harmonic resonance chambers. Should disrupt their cloaking tech." Wright nodded. "Voss, adjust shield frequencies. See if we can neutralize those nanites. The bridge erupted into a flurry of activity as the crew fought to adapt to the Jem'Hadar's devastating new tactics. Wright watched as Voss's adjustments began to take effect, the nanites' erosion of their systems slowing to a crawl. A series of high-intensity pulses emanated from the Prometheus, revealing a field of previously invisible Jem'Hadar drones. Allied ships, guided by Ares' rapidly updating target solutions, began to pick them off with increasing accuracy. As the immediate crisis subsided, a priority communication cut through the chaos. A woman's face appeared on Wright's personal display, her eyes sharp and knowing. "Captain Wright," she said, her voice low and urgent. "My name is Cynthia. I have critical information about the Jem'Hadar's true objective." Wright's eyes narrowed. "Who are you? How did you access this channel?" "There's no time," Cynthia pressed on. "A Jem'Hadar dreadnought is en route, carrying a weapon capable of destroying entire star systems. They plan to eliminate all potential rivals in one fell swoop." As Cynthia's words sank in, Wright felt the weight of the galaxy settle onto his shoulders. He glanced at the main view screen, where consortium ships, some now enhanced with stolen technology, fought alongside his own forces against the Jem'Hadar onslaught. Trust, Wright realized, had become as scarce a commodity as time. With a Jem'Hadar superweapon bearing down on them and allies of questionable loyalty at his side, he knew his next decision could determine the fate of not just humanity, but countless civilizations across the stars. "Ares," Wright said, his voice steady despite the turmoil in his mind. "Analyze all available data. I need options." As the AI began its calculations, Wright steeled himself for the challenges ahead. The true test of his captaincy and humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. The view screen flickered, revealing a massive shape emerging from hyperspace. The Jem'Hadar dreadnought loomed before them, its hull filled with weaponry. At its core, a pulsing energy signature grew in intensity. "Sir, that energy reading," Voss's voice trailed off, her eyes wide. "Singularity weapon," Wright confirmed, his heart made. Cynthia was right. Ares' voice cut through the tension. "Captain, I've completed my analysis. Our combined firepower is insufficient to breach the dreadnought's defenses." Wright's mind raced, weighing their dwindling options. He turned to the comm panel. "Cynthia, it's time. We're going with your plan." "Understood, Captain," came the reply. "My team is ready." As Wright relayed orders, the Allied fleet unleashed a furious barrage against the dreadnought. Under the cover of explosions and weapons fire, a small stealth craft detached from the Prometheus, carrying Cynthia and her infiltration team. "Reed," Wright called over the comm, "I need everything you've got. Use the nanofabricators to give Cynthia's team an edge." In engineering, Reed's fingers flew across holographic interfaces. "On it, Captain. Customizing gear for Jem'Hadar tech as we speak." Aboard the stealth craft, Cynthia received a stream of data from Ares, mapping out their insertion point. As they neared the dreadnought's hull, alarms blared. "They've detected us!" her pilot shouted. Cynthia gritted her teeth. "Doesn't matter. We're going in hot." The team breached the dreadnought's outer defenses, fighting their way through twisting corridors. They rounded a corner and froze. Before them stood a nightmarish fusion of cybernetics and Jem'Hadar flesh. "What the hell?" one of Cynthia's team gasped. The abomination lunged, its augmented limbs a blur of motion. Half of Cynthia's squad fell before they could even raise their weapons. The survivors fought desperately, their custom gear barely keeping them alive against the monstrous creations. "Push through!" Cynthia shouted, leading the charge towards the ship's core. On the Prometheus, Wright watched the battle unfold with growing dread. The dreadnought's weapon was nearing full charge, and Allied ships were falling at an alarming rate. "Sir," Voss reported, her voice tight, "Cynthia's team has reached the control nexus." Wright nodded grimly. "Now we wait." Deep within the dreadnought, Cynthia initiated the sabotage sequence. Suddenly, the world around her shimmered and distorted. She found herself trapped in a swirling vortex of data and alien consciousness. "Ares," she called out mentally, "I need backup." The AI's presence joined her, bolstering her defenses against the Jem'Hadar collective mind. But even their combined strength was faltering. "Cynthia!" Wright's voice cut through the maelstrom. "Remember who you are. What makes you human?" Drawing on Wright's words, Cynthia focused on her core identity. With a surge of will, she broke through the AI's constraints long enough to corrupt the weapon's protocols. Alarms blared throughout the dreadnought as its systems began to turn against it. A micro-black hole formed at its heart, consuming the ship from within. "We've done it," Cynthia transmitted. "Get out of here now!" As the Allied fleet began to retreat, the consortium ships suddenly turned their augmented weapons on the Una's vessels. "Treacherous bastards!" Prylar roared over the comm. "All ships, concentrate fire on the consortium." Wright's eyes narrowed. "Ares, plot us an exit strategy. We need to—" His words were cut short as a hypospray hissed against his neck. He slumped in his chair, unconscious. "Sorry, Captain," Reed said, lowering the injector, "but we need to go." The Prometheus disengaged, diving into a hastily calculated wormhole as the dreadnought imploded behind them. They emerged light years away, battered but intact. As the adrenaline faded, the weight of their losses settled over the crew. Wright, now conscious, stared at a small data chip, Cynthia's final gift. "What now, sir?" Voss asked quietly. Wright's gaze remained fixed on the chip. "We prepare, we adapt, and we make damn sure we're ready for what comes next." The Prometheus limped through space, its crew battered but unbroken. As they set course for the unknown, the chip in Wright's hand held the promise of a new chapter in humanity's journey among the stars.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.